Yo, what's good? It's D Scaladallo, and I'm here with the UFC Fight Night Poirier versus Pettis analysis and predictions. This is a Fight Night card in Norfolk, Virginia, and we got 6 fights on the main card. All right, now the first fight we have Joe Lauzon versus Clay Guida. This is a battle of two veterans, two long-term veterans. They put in a lot of work in the UFC. So yeah, this is one of them fights where it's gonna be entertaining. It doesn't really do much as far as the scope of the division. It's just two veterans going at it. You have Joe Lauzon. He coming off that loss to Stevie Ray, where he had a 10-8 first round, and then Stevie Ray had a 10-8 third round. And you have Clay Guida, who recently came back to 155. He looked good in his last fight. All right, as for the striking, they're both decent on the feet. I think Joe Lauzon has the advantage on the feet. I think he's the better striker. He has a more variety of attacks on the feet. He has good elbows. Clay Guida is manageable on the feet, but his main strength is to use his wrestling to get it to the ground, and get top control, land ground and pound. Joe Lauzon, he's gonna wanna keep this fight standing. I think Clay Guida, he's gonna wanna push the pace in this fight and wear on Joe Lauzon, use his wrestling, make him tired, because Joe Lauzon, he's been having cardio problems as of late. He needs to pace himself, but that's gonna be difficult to do against Clay Guida, because Clay Guida is a cardio monster. So I see Clay Guida winning this fight. I just think Joe Lauzon, he might have success earlier in the first round, but I think once Clay Guida starts landing takedowns, putting that pressure on him, he's gonna win pretty comfortably. I think by decision. I see this fight going all 3 rounds. Clay Guida just keeping top control and landing his ground and pound. All right, the next fight we have the number 4 ranked Rafael Sanchez against number 13 ranked Matthew Lopez. Now Rafael Sanchez, he's a really good fighter, but I can't really ever see him fighting for the title because he's not much of a personality, and his fight style, he fights very safe. He doesn't take a lot of risks, but he is very good. He's gonna be around that top 5 range at bantamweight until somebody knocks him out. And you have Matthew Lopez, really good wrestler. Just came off a very dominating win over Johnny Eduardo, so he's looking to really move into that top 10 with this win. This is a good opportunity for Matthew Lopez. Striking, I'll have to give the advantage to Sanchez. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't take a lot of chances, but he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's a pretty good counter puncher. Very good. And you have Matthew Lopez. He's decent on the feet, but his main strength is his wrestling. He's gonna probably want to take this fight to the ground. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can get those takedowns. Rafael Sanchez has really good takedown defense, so we're gonna see how that plays out. I have to go with Rafael Sanchez in this fight. I think his takedown defense is good enough to keep it standing. He has an 80% takedown defense rate, so yeah, I think he'll be able to keep it standing and get the better of a striking match. I think he's the better striker, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Rafael Sanchez. All right, the third fight we have the veteran Nate Marquardt against Cesar Forhey. I think this is gonna be a close fight. They both have pretty well-rounded skills. Forhey, he's a little younger, has a little bit more of his career ahead of him. Nate Marquardt, he's a veteran. He's been up and down. But he's still competing. He still can compete. He fought to a close fight with Vitor Belfort. So yeah, this is gonna be a close fight. I think it's pretty evenly matched. They're both really good. Both good striking. Good wrestler. I think Nate Marquardt might be a little bit better of a wrestler. Forhey, I think, is gonna be better condition. I think he'll be able to maintain his pace longer in the fight. Yeah, I can see this fight going, all in every aspect. I can see it taking place on the feet, or I can see it, becoming a grappling contest. But for my prediction, I'm just gonna go with Cesar Forhey. He's just younger. He has more career ahead of him. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cesar Forhey in that fight. All right, the next fight we have the number 11 ranked Junior Albini against Arlovski, ranked number 12. Junior Albini, he just came off a first round knockout of Timothy Johnson. First fight, he's already in the ranking, so he's really on his way up. And you have Arlovski, man, he's on the decline. I think at this point they're just trying to feed him to the prospects at this point in his career. Yeah, this is gonna be a striking match. Arlovski, I don't think he has it anymore. I just see Junior Albini getting a knockout in the first round, as far as that goes. All right, now the co-main event, you have Matt Brown versus Diego Sanchez. Now this is some crazy matchmaking, because it's taking place at 170, and Diego Sanchez is fought as low as 145. So yeah, this is a crazy matchup. Matt Brown, he coming off that knockout loss to Donald Cerrone, and he have Diego Sanchez. He's coming off of a first round knockout loss to Ali Quinta. So yeah, I think Matt Brown said this was going to be his last fight. So yeah, I expect this to be fireworks, and I expect this to be over quickly. I think Matt Brown, he's going to be too big, too powerful for Diego. I just think he's going to get Diego out of there in the first round. Diego needs to retire. Matt Brown, he's about to retire. So yeah, I guess, both of them go out with a bang. All right, main event, we have the number 8 ranked Dustin Poirier versus Anthony Pettis. This is gonna be a really good main event. Both like to strike, Dustin Poirier, I think if anyone wrestles in this fight, I think Dustin Poirier will initiate the takedown. Dustin Poirier in this fight, he's gonna wanna be aggressive. Don't let Anthony Pettis have time to throw his crazy techniques. Dustin Poirier, he has really good boxing, very powerful striker. So yeah, he's gonna want to get in Anthony Pettis' face, keep him on the back foot, and use his combinations. And Anthony Pettis in this fight, he's gonna want space to land some kicks. I think Poirier, he has been shown liability to get hurt. So I think Anthony Pettis, he's gonna want to do that. They're both gonna look for the knockout in this fight. I think Dustin Poirier, he may wrestle if he sees he's losing the striking match. Anthony Pettis has decent takedown defense, really good submission, so he has to be careful in that aspect. Anthony Pettis is really slick, really good guillotine. He's good from his back as well, so he has to be wary of that. For my prediction, I'm gonna go with Anthony Pettis by knockout. I think Dustin Poirier, he doesn't have the best striking defense. He doesn't have the best chin either. So I think Pettis will be able to withstand the barrage from Dustin Poirier more than Dustin Poirier is gonna be able to withstand the attack from Anthony Pettis. I see Anthony Pettis probably. I'm thinking a head kick knockout. I would say probably a head kick knockout in like the second round. Either that or like a guillotine. I see Anthony Pettis getting the finish in this fight. So yeah, y'all can go ahead and tell me what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe if y'all want to. I'll be doing every UFC card. Peace and salute.